This is a bit of a personal one today. No script, no intention. Not that I do those anyway, because they just look really painfully robotic, don't they? But I just wanted to share something that's a little bit personal to me. I've been watching over the last few years someone I love very dearly, a very close family member, develop dementia. And it's been very hard for me. I don't live close to my family, so whenever I do connect with my family, there's a significant period of time between those visits, and the progression to me is profound. It's quite strong. And I'm always shocked and deeply saddened by what I see and how things are going for that individual. And it's something I've wrestled with. I've spent a lot of time with them, trying to care for them, and watching someone you love go from a very strong, empowered, revered individual who has achieved so much in their life to watching them slowly succumb to the symptoms of dementia. And if you've been through this, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It's really heartbreaking to see that person not able to do basic things, remember, not able to look after themselves, and to be so confused by things we all take for granted every single day. And also just to watch them regress, back to an infant-like state. Sometimes they have tantrums, sometimes they're like a toddler. And there's different things that go through and happen as dementia progresses. It can get progressively worse, and maybe you lose your continence, or your entire memory disappears, you don't recognise people, or you can't walk, you lose your bodily functions, everything just starts to break down. And like with anything in life, millions of people are going through this. Like, this is not a pity party for me or for anyone that I love. This is truly something that happens to people all the time. And the sad thing is that the occurrences of dementia and Alzheimer's is getting worse, not better. And you'd think with all of these progressions in science, that wouldn't be the case, but it is. And it got me thinking. Naturally, because it's personal to me and it's something that's really important to me, and obviously I've really struggled with watching it. And I'm sure the people caring for them, the incredible work they do. Shout out to all of the carers of people who are suffering of Alzheimer's dementia out there. You're doing incredible work. Like, I can't even begin to express how powerful what you do is, and how difficult it is for those who are caring for people who are suffering with this terrible affliction and disease. But me being slightly out of the box and whatever, not accepting the narrative, because we're lied to constantly, I really want to understand a bit more about the energetic and spiritual component of what dementia and Alzheimer's really is. And one of the things that stuck with me as I was meditating on it was the disconnection. And the disconnection principally, there's obviously disconnection on multiple levels, but the disconnection between the soul and the mind. So the more you progress through something like dementia, the more disconnected your soul is with your mind. It's like you're being slowly booted out of your body, completely disconnected, like all the attachments, all the cords are being cut, and you have no control. So it's almost like, the way I saw it is like a soul was drifting, separated, and had several cords to the body, but they're being cut one by something. And I'm fairly sure in this circumstance, in this instance, for me personally, that Western medicine has a large part to play in my loved one's dementia. I'm not going to go into the bits and pieces in that, because I'm probably going to get limited more than I already do by bringing this up. But people out there know that this stuff disconnects people's souls from their minds. Somebody knows. Now, I'm currently trying to work on re-establishing some of that connection for my loved one. And there's been a little bit of success. It's going to take a bit of work. It's not a simple thing by any stretch of the imagination, and to some degree it might be a bit too late in some cases, which is fine. But I think the ultimate thing that I am just kind of wanting to understand is what other people think about this. When your soul becomes disconnected from different parts of your body, whether it's your heart, your mind, your energy, you become disempowered. And disempowerment is exactly what I'm fighting against and what I want to teach people how not to be. I want people to be empowered in their lives. I want them to feel stronger. And the world is moving in a way that means that your empowerment is going to determine how you progress over the next coming years. Because the pressure is on right now. And it could go one of several ways. But you need to be empowered. Sure, we all need to come together, but if we're all individually disempowered, how are we going to come together to do anything? It starts with you. You need to remember how powerful you are, what you're capable of, and that you actually do have a choice. You'll be told you don't. You'll be told what your reality is constantly. But you still have a choice as to whether or not you accept that. And if you're not in your power, you can't push that back. But, like I said, disempowerment is not just about not being able to be in control of your life. It is things like dementia. That is an ultimate form of disempowerment, disconnecting your soul from your mind. I can see my loved one, when I ask them questions, they want to say something to me, but there's literally something cutting them off and stopping them from doing that. They cannot complete a sentence. They start the sentence and then they stop. Because there's no connection, there's no flow between the soul and the mind. There's just nothing there. And I can see they're just like, well, I want to say this, but I can't. My body won't let me. And that's really sad, and that's just a tiny piece of what happens. So anyway, I just wanted to share that. It's something that I think is important. Dementia is not just about your brain turning to Swiss cheese. It is a soul disconnection. Your soul and your mind are separated. And all forms of dementia, Alzheimer's, Lewy body, aphasia, all of it is a solid soul disconnection. So anyway, do with that what you will.